Hi everyone, am I audible and visible? Hello, am I audible and visible? So hi everyone, welcome to Unacademy NEET English. I'm your biology educator Ambika Sharma. So welcome to the session where we are going to talk about the skeletal system, right? That's what we are going to discuss. We are going to talk about the skeletal system and in less than 1 hour we are going to cover it. Yes? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the session. Welcome to the class. So tell me, how are you all doing? What's up? How are you all doing? What's up? So I think near about after 1 week I'm taking the sessions. So yes, definitely I'm very excited to teach you people, and I thought that I should start with a topic which is important as well, and students generally they avoid this topic, that is skeletal system. According to them, there are so many things that they have to remember, right? But it's not like that. I know there are so many bones, we have to talk about it, but trust me, it's fun reading skeletal system. It's fun reading skeletal system. Trust me, you are going to love this topic. So in less than 1 hour, this is what we are going to master. So quickly hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new to our channel, and share the video link with your other friends as well. Earlier the video was, the session was scheduled for tomorrow now. So I just prepone it. So today I'm going to discuss this topic, right? So excited for this session? Tell me quickly. Excited for this session? Yes? Excited? Good evening, good evening, good evening everyone. Good evening. Okay, so let's go, let's start the topic, but before that, just have a look, bache. So we have something exciting for you, and that is your unlock 25%. So what you have to do, whatever course you want to join across the Unacademy platform, right? You can see if you want to be the part of NEET UG 2024 plus batches, right? So, and here you are also going to get the extension of extra 4 months. You will get the extension of 4 months, like extra 4 months will be added to your curriculum. So here you guys can see initially this batch was at a price of near about 34,000, but now you will get it at a price of near about 25,000, 26,000, right? Same for the 2025 courses, for the plus subscription as well, for the iconic as well. So what you have to do, you just need to use one coupon code, and that is Ambika 10. So if you use this coupon code across the any course that you want to buy across the Unacademy platform, you are going to get the lightning deal over it, right, bache? And moreover, we have this Avengers 3.0 batch as well. So for this batch, again, see, you can visit any of my video, just click on this link, add your number and email, and you will be the part of my batch after paying the fees. And in that batch, right, in that batch, we are discussing, right now we are discussing class 12 syllabus. There will be the test as well, discussion sessions as well, and the revision sessions for the class 11th as well. So still, if you are confused and you are looking for a batch, then this batch is the perfect choice for you. And right now you are going to get the special offer over it. So which coupon code you have to use? That is Ambika 10. Right, bache? That is Ambika 10. So see, you are just going to get it at a price of 3,157. Okay, just 3,157. Now, let's come to the topic, bache. Let's start the skeletal system, and that is what? That is your, this, chin 2. So today we are going to talk about chin 2. Ma'am, plant kingdom is not yet completed. Bache, I think Gopika ma'am has started the plant kingdom. She is teaching you that now, right? Yeah, body fluid and circulation. See, I kept a separate topic where we talked about the cardiac cycle. I don't have slot for the marathon sessions these days, Trisha, right? I do not have the slot for the marathon sessions. So once I'll get it, I will complete the body fluid and circulation. Till then, the topics that are important and tricky, I'm going to finish them in 1 hour. That's a good plan. Right, as of now, because I don't have the slot, so I'm thinking that I will cover the important topics, right, in short duration sessions so that you can revise them again and again. Okay, okay, so let's revise it. So this is what we are going to discuss today, bache, and that is our chin 2, the skeleton. This is what we have to discuss. So actually, if you're actually serious to crack the NEET examination, then please start preparing this topic, right? That will be a great help for you in your MBBS. You have to remember the name of each and every bone. As of now, I'm going to tell you about the bones only. But in MBBS, you even need to talk about the muscles. Imagine, even about the muscles. So that will be good if you will start. And yes, just to save time, I have done some homework for you. I have the flow charts here and we are going to revise it very quickly. Okay, so when we talk about the skeletal system, you know that in our case, it is made up of what? It is made up of bones, right? It is made up of what? It is made up of bones. And if I talk about the germ layer, students, so you know that it is the mesoderm. Okay, it is the mesoderm that will form your skeletal system. Which germ layer is going to form the skeletal system? I want you people to answer here in the comment section, in the chat section, quickly. Right, the session should be interactive. I am going to explain it in detail. Trust me, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love this session. Okay, Kaushi, we have already prepared it, right? So if you are getting some questions from mineral nutrition also, that's totally fine. Okay, you can revise it. So everyone, and share the video link right now. Share the video link right now. So see, mesoderm, it is the germ layer that is going to form the skeletal system. And skeletal system is having the bones. Even we are going to talk about the cartilages here, but mainly our skeletal system is bony. What type of skeletal system do we have? We have the bony skeletal system. So if you talk about the adults, right, 206 bones are there. How many bones are there? 206. But can you tell me about the number of bones in an infant basically? Can you tell me about the number of bones in an infant? And moreover, even when that fetus is in the uterus of the mother, at that time also, of course, the number of bones, it's not 206. Yes, you're right. When you talk about the infants, yes, approximately near about, in their case, the bones are 300. So see, it's still, that skeletal system is still growing even after the birth. That's why, right, a newborn baby is, while handling a newborn baby, we have to be very careful, right? Their skull cannot take the weight initially. We have to put the hand, right? We have to take care of them. Right, bache? Right? So, in the adults, 206 bones are there. So, basically, we are going to discuss our skeletal system in two ways. In two parts, we are going to divide it. One is your axial skeleton. Another is your appendicular skeleton. Right? Another is your appendicular skeleton. That's what we are going to cover. Axial and the appendicular skeleton, right? So I will give you the flow charts here to revise this topic very quickly. And yes, one more thing. Do you know you are missing out something? And you know what are you missing out? These free classes. These free classes that I'm taking on Unacademy platform, where I am teaching you plant physiology, and after that I am going to start the human physiology as well, right? So here on our platform, right, you are not going to get any distraction. Those who want to learn something, only they are going to join the classes, and proper interaction will be there. Even your doubts will be answered. So you can have a look. See, MCQ practice sessions are there. So basically in three days I have finished photosynthesis, respiration is done, and tomorrow I'm going to start respiration in plants as well. So if you are watching these lectures, very good. Otherwise, what you have to do, just go to the just download the Unacademy app. Even directly on Google, you can type Unacademy, search my name, right? Follow my profile. Okay, follow my profile and you will get the detail of all the sessions, right, that I will schedule, that I will teach. So here you guys can see respiration, etc, right? I taught it yesterday, right? Respiration, the entire chapter is completed. Photosynthesis is done. Even the genetics part is done. So that's what you have to do. Join, right? Follow my profile and be the part of these classes, and I will answer each and every doubt there. Okay? Each and every doubt there. And even as I said, even if you want to be the part of my batch, Avengers 3.0, so here you can find the details as well. Okay? So now come back to the topic. So how are we dividing it? Axial and appendicular. But when it is the axial skeleton, it is total having 80 bones. And when you are talking about the appendicular skeleton, here total 126 bones are there. So now the part is, what is the axial skeleton, ma'am, and what is the appendicular skeleton? So I think you all have seen a doll, right? Especially that Barbie doll and all. I think you all have seen a doll, isn't it? You all have seen a doll. So in that doll, if we remove from that doll, if we remove the arms, if we remove the legs, the remaining portion, including this skull and all, that part is your axial skeleton, right? It is the axis, no? Like x-axis. So it is the axial skeleton. And this part in our body, like our girdles, the limbs, this is the shoulder girdle, this is the forelimb, hip girdle, hind limb, they are making the appendicular skeleton. So when you are talking about the axial skeleton, total how many bones are there? Total 80 bones are there. And when you are talking about the appendicular skeleton, how many bones are there? Rahil, Gamer, everyone, I want you people to revert, I want you people to answer. The session should be interactive, guys. The session should be interactive. So here total 126 bones are there. So just look at this flow chart. It is very, very, very simple. So when we talk about the axial skeleton, we'll be discussing the skull portion, the skull, which will include your cranium, right, the brain box, the facial bones, ear ossicles, and the tongue bone. Then here in axial skeleton, you will be discussing the vertebral column, the sternum, the ribs. That's what we have to discuss here. Okay, that's what we have to discuss here. So are you ready to make this flow chart? Tell me quickly, everyone. Are you ready to make this flow chart? Quick. Are you ready to make this flow chart? I'll make it right now. So always remember the example of the doll. So from that doll, if you will remove the arms and the legs, the remaining is axial skeleton. And I'm sure you have done it, right? Even my brothers used to do the same thing with my doll. They used to remove her arms, sometimes legs, sometimes hair as well. So I think you all have seen that. So now come to the axial skeleton. So as I said, what will you include? You are going to include the skull. So now students, if you read this part from NCERT, right Rahil? If you read this part from NCERT, what you discuss there? That in the NCERT first line, in that first line, it is mentioned that 22 bones are there in the skull. 22 bones are there in the skull. But I am mentioning total 29 bones. Can you tell me why? Why? Right? See, I am going to mention, basically in the NCERT it is written 22 bones are there in skull, but I am going to mention 29 bones here. Let me tell you, if you will read that paragraph properly, there it is clearly mentioned that skull is having 22 bones, but then they also include the ear ossicles and the hyoid bone there. Wait, let me tell you. So when you are talking about the skull, firstly you will consider cranium. What is cranium? Cranium is the brain box, and you know that we are vertebrates. We are craniates. What are we? We are craniates. We have the brain box. We have the brain box. It will protect our delicate brain. So cranium is made up of 8 bones. How many bones? 8 bones. Plus in the skull we have the facial bones as well. What do we have? Facial bones as well. Total 14 in number. So 14 plus 8, it's total 22. It's total 22. But you also need to include the hyoid bone also. Read the NCERT, you will find it. Hyoid bone, which is 1 in number. But a hyoid bone is your U-shaped bone. It is the tongue bone. It supports the tongue, and it is the only bone of the skull which is not articulating with any other bone. It is attached with the help of ligaments. That's the word that I have used. Articulating means attached. Okay, so I will use this word again and again in the skeletal system, that one bone is articulating with another. One bone is articulating with another. Done, bache? So we have cranium, the brain box made up of 8 bones. All the bones, they are fused. They have immovable joints, right? Sutures. Then facial bones, total 14 in number. Hyoid bone, which is a U-shaped bone, also known as tongue bone, right? It is 1 in number. Then comes the ear ossicles. Okay, ear ossicles, which are total 6 in number. 3 here, 3 here, right? 3 here, 3 here. So ear ossicles we have, and they are present in the middle ear, in the cavity of the middle ear. Done, bache? Ear ossicles, right? So 6 plus 1, 7. You can add. So that's why I always used to mention that here you will talk about that in the skull, you are going to say that 29 bones are there. Understood? 29 bones are there. Now, moreover, in the axial skeleton, we have the sternum, right? Which is also known as breastbone. Individually also we will discuss this. Don't worry. That is one in number. Ribs, total 12 pairs are there. So 12 pairs means total 24 ribs are there. And when we talk about the vertebral column, okay, when we talk about the vertebral column, total 26 vertebrae are present. Total 26 vertebrae are present. Clear, bache? Right? So have a look. See this. So cranium 8, facial 14, ear ossicle 6, hyoid 1. Revise it. Revise it again. Okay. Then come to the vertebral column. Total 26 vertebrae. So it's C, it's T, it's L, it's S, it's C. It's C, T, L, S, C. It's C, T, L, S, C. Right? Repeat it. C, T, L, S, C. So if you want a trick for this, come to lunch, stay calm. Okay. Come to lunch, stay calm. That's the trick. Come to lunch, stay calm. Okay. So C, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccyx. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccyx. I will explain it in detail as well. Okay. But as of now, try to cram these names. Fine. Try to cram these names, then we will discuss everything in detail. In detail also we will discuss. But first of all, let's remember it. Okay, let's remember it. Let's mug up this topic. Okay, so it's come to lunch, stay calm. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccyx. Repeat it with me, everyone. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccyx. Total 26 vertebrae. So there is a number as well. Question can come from this part. So it's 7, 12, 5, 5, 4. It's 7, 12, 5, 5, 4. What is it? 7, 12, 5, 5, 4. But if you will notice, I have written this 5 and 4 like this. Yes or no? Right? Right? 7, 12, 5, 5, 4. So I am mentioning this 5 and 4 like this. Why? Because this bracket is showing the fusion. Right? It is showing the fusion. Fine. So when you talk about the neck vertebrae, this region, the cervical vertebrae, they are total 7. Thoracic, total 12. Lumbar, that curved part, total 5. Sacral, they are also 5. But that 5 vertebrae, they will fuse, and after fusion, they will form only one vertebra. One vertebra, yeah, one bone. Clear, bache? Coccyx also, 4 are fused, and after fusion, it will form 1. So now add it. 7 plus 12 plus 5 plus 1 and 1. It's total 26. So after fusion, how many vertebrae do we have? 26. But before fusion, it will be 33. Am I right? It will be 33. Okay. So it was a question once I was checking it out, right? A teacher was answering it. So sometimes we miss this point. Okay. So if you are talking about the infant's vertebral column, these will be the number of vertebrae. Later on it will fuse. So 5 bones will fuse and they will form one sacral vertebrae. 4 will fuse and they will form one coccyx vertebrae. That's what you have to remember. Okay, that's what you have to remember. So next part, the sternum, the breastbone, 1, ribs, total 24, 12 pairs. Now here, when you talk about the appendicular skeleton, we'll be discussing the girdle and the limb bones. Like this is the limb bone. Humerus, 2 forelimbs and 2 hind limbs. Forelimbs, hind limbs, right? That's what we have. Forelimbs, hind limbs. So when you talk about the forelimbs, okay, humerus, radius ulna, carpal, metacarpal phalanges. Everyone just repeat. Done, everyone? Clear? Yes? So what do we have here? What do we have here, Rahil? We have the girdle, we have the forelimbs. So forelimbs, the bones, this bone of the forelimb, this part, I don't have any skeleton now, right? This part is the humerus. Here, radius ulna. Together you also call it as radio ulna. Here, wrist bones, carpals. Here, palm bones, metacarpals. These fingers, they are bones, they are phalanges. They are phalanges. Let's repeat it once. Humerus, radius ulna, carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. Okay. Okay. And here we have the shoulder girdle. Two shoulder girdles we have, made up of two bones. So that's why here, when it comes to the girdles, we are going to talk about two girdles. Pectoral, which is also known as shoulder girdle, made up of 4 bones. 2 bones here, 2 bones here. Pelvic girdle, which is the hip girdle, made up of 2 bones, right? So 2 bones will fuse, they are making 1 pelvic girdle. So we have 2 shoulder girdles, 1 pelvic girdle. And when it comes to the limb bones, you know about the limbs of the forelimbs, bones of the forelimb. Now when it comes to the hind limb, you have the femur, tibia fibula, patella, which is kneecap, then tarsal, metatarsal phalanges. So that's the most common mistake that students make, right? So in your forelimbs, you have carpals and metacarpals. In your hind limbs, you have tarsals and metatarsals. Okay, tarsals and metatarsals. Is that clear? Yes. Is that clear? As I said, we will discuss it individually as well. But as of now, please try to remember the number of the bones and these names. So total 6 bones are there in girdles. So remaining 120 are making limb bones. So 30 bones here, 30 bones here. Total 60 bones are there in our forelimb. Total 60 bones are there in our hind limbs, in both the hind limbs. Done, bache? Yes. So Rahil is saying it's easy. What about others? What do you think? It's easy or difficult? What do you think? It's easy or difficult? Yes, everyone? What do you think? It's easy or difficult? So quickly answer my one question. It's medium. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's make it easy. Okay, so this part and that part, you guys can see the bones. The skull having cranium, facial bones, ear ossicles and hyoid. This is the sternum. The ribs are there. Okay, here the pelvic girdle, the pectoral girdle, forelimbs. Here comes the hind limb. So that's our chin too. Fine, that's our chin too. So see this, the axial skeleton, and this part is the appendicular skeleton. Understood? Axial skeleton, appendicular skeleton, axial skeleton, appendicular skeleton. So quickly write down, because bache, this is the topic that you have to revise again and again. You do not have any other option. You have to, right, revise it. You have to cram it. So tell me quickly, axial skeleton, how many bones are there in axial skeleton? How many bones are there in axial skeleton? Quick. Quick. I want to see. Yes. I want to see your response as well. How many bones are there in axial skeleton? Quick. And I'm not going to take more than 1 hour, right? And the questions on the basis of this topic, we are going to solve it on our Unacademy platform, right? I will keep a special class for that. How many bones? Exactly. Total 80 bones are there. And here, total 126 bones. Excellent. Excellent. So now let's start the skull part. Okay, let's start with the cranium. So what are we going to start first? We are going to start with the cranium. So as I said, how many bones are making the cranium? Total 8 bones. So when you look at these bones, can you see these structures, students? Can you see these structures? See this? So these are showing the immovable joints, right? This is the kind of fusion. It's showing immovable joints, the sutures. Okay, the sutures, immovable joints, the sutures. That's what they are showing, skull bones. Okay, they are total 8, right? They are total 8. So see this, let's revise it quickly. See, front one, of course it is the frontal. F for forehead, F for frontal. Frontal, parietal, near to the ear, here, temporal, this side, occipital, ethmoid and sphenoid. I'm repeating this again. Frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal, sphenoid, ethmoid. Here, I will just tell you the most important things only. Okay, don't worry about that. I will just tell you the most important things. So, total 8 bones are there. So, out of it, this is what you have to remember. That your parietal is paired, the temporal is paired. Parietal is paired, your temporal is paired. This is one question. I'm repeating this again, Rahel. Frontal, parietal, near to this ear. Temporal, here. Occipital, ethmoid, sphenoid. That's it. That's it. So what you need to remember here, I'll tell you. The sphenoid bone, right? It's given in chemical control part as well. This is what you need to remember. Directly, I'm telling you the MCQ based questions, okay? Sphenoid bone. But it's a butterfly shaped bone. What type of bone it is? It's a butterfly shaped bone which is forming your cranium, and here in this bone you will see a depression, right? Bones are also having depression, but depression means a cavity like structure. Okay, a cavity like structure. So this sphenoid bone, which is butterfly shaped, it is having a kind of depression, means a kind of space is given here, and this space here, in this space, the pituitary gland will live. Basically, pituitary gland is present here in this depression, and this bony depression here is known as sella turcica, the home of pituitary. Okay, it's the home of pituitary. Fine. It is what? It is the home of pituitary. Clear, bache? Clear? Sure. So total 8 bones are there. So sphenoid bone is the one. Sphenoid bone is the one which is butterfly shaped, having a depression. That depression, that bony cavity is known as sella turcica, where your pituitary gland will lie. Okay. Now the second important point. So I don't know whether you have noticed it or not, right? Even in animal kingdom also we say that our skull is dicondylic. This is the word that we use. That our skull is what? The skull is dicondylic. That's the word that we use, right, Abhisha? The skull is what? Dicondylic. 2 condyles are there. Now, ma'am, what's that? See, this is a skull. You know that the skull is articulated with the vertebral column, right? The skull, it is articulated with the vertebral column. It is attached to the vertebral column, and that's important. Then only that's why we can move it like this, na? We can do, right? We can move our skull like this. Now see, when you talk about the vertebral column, you know that it's CTLSC 712554. I will repeat it so many times. Trust me, I'm going to repeat it so many times because it is an important question. So cervical vertebrae are total 7 in number. So bache, here your first vertebra is atlas, the second vertebra is axis. Remember this. The name of the first vertebra is atlas. Okay, the name of the second vertebra is axis. Another favorite question of your examiner. Okay, another favorite question of your examiner. Now, this atlas, it articulates with the skull, means it attaches to the skull. Clear? It articulates with the skull, it attaches to the skull. Now, students, what's the point here? The point here is this skull, it has to attach to the atlas. So in the occipital bone, actually, you will find 2 sites for the articulation. Means in the occipital bone, there are 2 kind of positions. Okay, in simple word, if in layman language I have to explain, so occipital bone is having 2 attachment points to which this first vertebra atlas will join. Okay, to which this first vertebra atlas will join. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? To which this first vertebra atlas will join. Clear, bache? So because we have 2 condyles here, that's why the skull is dicondylic. That's why the skull is dicondylic. First point. Now, you know that this bony structure is protecting the delicate portion here, that is our brain, right? And to that brain, the spinal cord is also attached, isn't it? Spinal cord is also attached. So spinal cord is protected by this vertebral column. I hope you know about it. Your spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column. I hope you know about it. So basically in this occipital bone, bache, you will see an opening here, right? Opening that is known as foramen magnum. What is it? It is your foramen magnum. I'll try to take a 3D session on skeletal system as well, but please, first of all, remember this part. See, this is the side of, this is basically your occipital bone. So when you look at this occipital bone, see this portion, this opening or aperture, this is the foramen magnum. This is the foramen magnum from where your spinal cord is coming out. Clear, bache? From where your spinal cord is coming out. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? So here there will be the condyles to which the first vertebra atlas will join. Okay, okay, so this is a kind of lower side here, right? The posterior part here. So just have a look, right? So imagine here you have the bone, right? So it is having that foramen magnum from which your spinal cord is coming out. Done? From where your spinal cord is coming out. So that's what you have to remember. So you should know about these two bones of the cranium at least. Okay, okay, you should know about it. So facial bones, they are total 14 associated with nose, that is nasal. This cheekbone, my favorite, it is zygomatic, right? It is zygomatic. Clear, bache? See, it is also paired, right? Here you have the lacrimal bone, 2 in number, vomer 1, inferior nasal concave 2, nasal 2, palatine, right? You know that structures now. We have even discussed the digestion and absorption also, right? Right now it is not the part of your syllabus, but I hope you know about it. Okay, but I hope you know about it. Yes, so palatine, hard palate, soft, it is associated there. And then bache, the upper jaw is maxilla and mandible. Now in the facial bone, this is the part that you need to remember. Okay, this is the part that you need to remember. So maxillae, mandible, maxillae, mandible. So maxilla, upper jaw. So upper jaw is formed by the fusion of two bones. Another important topic. Okay, okay, another important topic. Upper jaw is having it is formed by the fusion of two bones. It is known as maxilla. Lower jaw, right? This is what you should write down. Lower jaw, it is mandible, and it is the only movable. It is the only movable bone of skull. Rest all are fixed. It is mandible. It is the only movable bone of skull. Another important question. So upper jaw is made up of what? It is made up of two bones. Upper jaw is made up of what? It is made up of two bones, right? By the fusion of two bones, right? Maxilla, and here you have the mandible, the lower jaw. Understood? Clear, bache? So even if you want to see this, right? You can see the positions as well. The zygomatic bone, the cheekbones. Here we are talking about the cheekbones. This is the sphenoid bone, part of cranium. This is frontal bone, part of cranium. Ethmoid, part of cranium. So nasal bone, facial bone, lacrimal, facial, zygomatic, maxilla, and here you have the mandible also. Clear? Here you have the mandible also. So see, nasal, lacrimal, right? Zygomatic, inferior nasal concave, the vomer, okay, which is single. This is mandible, which is single. Okay, okay. So done. Very good, Ahmed. Very good. Okay. हाँ, ये smile कर रहा है literally. It is smiling. He. है ना? He. So mandible is the only movable bone. So the points that I am, emphasizing that this is important. This is important. From that points, if you will check the previous year questions, you are going to find the previous year questions. Okay. So trust me, it is not difficult. It is not difficult. You have to make this topic interesting. Right? You need to make this topic interesting. And it is interesting. See, how do I remember all that things? No doubt we are revising it again and again. No doubt we teachers, we revise it again and again, but it is not the only thing. I actually find this topic very interesting. See, I know about my bones. right? 206 bones are there. In a fun way, I started remembering this. 80 bones in axial, 126 in appendicular. So now when it is the skull, okay, even if you don't remember the name of each and every bone, at least you should know about the important points like pituitary gland, the master gland, where that master gland is living, in the sella turcica. Where is that sella turcica? In the sphenoid bone, like this, like this. Hurry, we have only one movable bone in our skull. That is what? That is mandible. That's how I remember. And this is another interesting point. Just have a look. I told you about the hyoid bone. It's a kind of U-shaped bone. It is also known as tongue bone. It is supporting the tongue. It is providing a space for the attachment of the muscles of the tongue. So, what is the special about this hyoid bone? It is not articulating with any other bone directly. It is not attached to any other bone directly. Okay, with the help of ligaments, it is attached. Just imagine. Just imagine. So, just pick up the interesting points. Right? There is no need to remember everything. Just pick up the interesting points. And that interesting points are making the questions. Fine. It's interesting, no? So this is the hyoid bone. I will share the PDF with you people. See, that's the hyoid bone. And see, this is the ligament with which it is fixed. So it is not attached to any other bone. And look at this. Look at this part. This part here is showing your larynx. This part here is showing your trachea. Okay, this part here is showing your larynx, this part is showing your trachea, and this is the epiglottis as well. So it's interesting, right? This topic is what? It's interesting. So see the 8 cranial bones here, see the facial bones here, done? See the tongue bone here. This is that solid tongue bone. Hai na? It is like this, na? Tongue bone. So see this. And it's the human hyoid bone. Okay, it is the human hyoid bone. So look at this hyoid bone. Fine, understood. Now come to the ear ossicles. I forgot to add the diagram here, but ear ossicles are there in our tympanic cavity, means in our middle ear. Okay, it is there in our tympanic cavity, means in our middle ear. What? The ear ossicles. So total 6 ear ossicles are there, and their name is malus, incus, stapes. Malus, incus, stapes. This stapes is the smallest bone as well, and even it is the smallest ear ossicle. It is the smallest ear ossicle, plus it is the smallest bone as well. Another important MCQ. Right? So here for the ear ossicles, my trick is miss has. What's my trick here for the ear ossicles? My trick is miss has. What is the trick here? Yes, bache, Abisha, Rahil. Yes. What is the trick here? It is miss has. Everyone here in the class, please revert. What is the trick here? What is the trick here? It is miss has. It is miss has. So malus, incus, stapes. Malus, incus, stapes. Malus, incus, stapes. What is it? Malus, incus, stapes. So malus, hammer shaped. Incus, I told you, the trick is has. H-A-S-E, enroll. Stapes, stirrup. So these are the shapes actually. These are the shapes actually. So hammer, enroll shaped, and the stirrup. Okay? Okay? So malus, incus, stapes. So I hope you remember external ear. Then here comes the middle ear. Then comes the inner ear. So here near to the tympanic membrane, malus, then incus, then stapes. So that's how they are present, and these ear ossicles, they increase the amplitude of that sound. Okay? Okay? Yes, Bache Mit, definitely you can. Okay? So that's what you have to remember. Now let's come to the another part, that is the ribs and the sternum. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about this. See, this portion. This is the sternum. Of course, it is a kind of dagger shape. This type of shape is the dagger shape. It is also a flat bone, bache, and it is also known as the breastbone, the sternum. It is known as what? It is known as the breastbone. So see, to the sternum, ribs are attached, right? Ribs are attached to the sternum. Here you have the sternum to which ribs and other muscles are attached. Clear, bache? Clear, clear, clear. Is it right? Can you see that? This is the sternum, the flat bone. Now here you will see, as I said, we have total 12 pairs. 12 pairs of what? 12 pairs of the ribs. So means total 24 ribs are there. One sternum and 24 ribs. Right, CM? One sternum and 24 ribs we have. So definitely you are going to get question from the ribs part. For sure. Right? For sure. This is very important portion, the ribs. It is actually the very important portion, the ribs. Okay, so how many pairs do we have? 12 pairs. So each rib is flat, thin and connected. This is the dorsal side of our body. This is the ventral side of our body. This is the lateral side of our body. I am repeating this again. The dorsal side of our body, the ventral side of our body, the lateral side of our body. Again, I am repeating. The dorsal side of the body, the ventral side of the body, and the lateral side of the body. Clear, bache? Clear, bache? So, dorsally, these ribs are attached to the vertebral column. Ventrally, they are attached to the sternum. That's what I'm writing here. Now, there is one word that ribs are bicephalic. Cephal word or cephalization. It means the formation of head. It means the formation of head. Cephal word. It is somewhere related with the head. It is related with what, Abhisha? This word is related with the head. Now, as I said that ribs are also flat. So when you look at the ribs, okay, see this side, they are having two heads, or you can say that two sides for the attachment. If you look at the ribs now, so you see here in the ribs that they are having what? Right, they are having two heads for the attachment. They are having two heads for the attachment. That's why we use the word bicephalic. That's why we use the word bicephalic. What is the word? Everyone just type it in the chat section quick. Everyone just type this word in the chat section. Quick. Bicephalic. Ribs are what? Bicephalic. Two heads are there, or 2 points for articulation. Okay, 2 points for articulation. That's what you need to remember. That's what you have to remember here. Okay, that's what you have to remember here. So in the ribs, right, the next point that you need to remember is that we have true ribs, false ribs, and the floating ribs. True ribs, false ribs, and the floating ribs. So first 7, first, second, third. So basically first 7 pairs, they are true ribs, right? Your 8th, 9th and 10th pair, false ribs. The 11th and the, guess it from there. So true ribs are those which are attached dorsally to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. Right? Right, dorsally to the vertebral column, ventrally to the sternum. And yes, they are attached, right? Directly they are attached here to the vertebral column as well, to the sternum as well. And obviously one cartilage, that is kind of your bluish or glassy cartilage, hyaline cartilage helps here in the attachment. Hyaline cartilage helps here in the attachment as well. Okay, hyaline cartilage is helping here in the attachment as well. This part clear? Vertebrosternal part clear, true ribs clear. Then vertebrochondral. Now what is it, ma'am? Vertebrochondral. Now they are the false ribs. False ribs. Which pair is of false ribs? 8th, 9th and the 10th. So dorsally no doubt it is attached to the vertebral column. It is articulated to the vertebral column. But ventrally it is not attached to the, not attached to the sternum directly. Not attached to the sternum directly. Now what is the meaning of this, ma'am? See, your 8th, 9th and 10th pair, with the help of cartilage, it is attached to the 7th pair. With the help of cartilage, it is attached to the 7th pair, right? It is attached to what? It is attached to the 7th pair. So which cartilage is helping here? Again, your costal or the hyaline cartilage. It's one and the same thing. It's your costal and the hyaline cartilage. Which cartilage it is? It is costal and the hyaline cartilage. Done, bache? Costal and the hyaline cartilage. Understood? Understood? So because 8th, 9th, 10th pair is not directly attached to the sternum, that's why they are the false ribs, vertebrochondral ribs. And now the 11th, 12th pair, it is just attached to, okay, your 11th, 12th pair. See, it is just attached to the dorsal side, to the vertebral column, not at all attached to your sternum. That's why they are floating, because it is just fixed to one side. And they are basically protecting our kidneys. This floating pair of ribs, it is basically protecting what? It is protecting the kidneys. Understood? It is protecting the kidneys. Okay, done. So the question on the basis of ribs is very important. So how many pairs do we have? Repeated ones. And see this. Yes, one more thing I would like to highlight here. So see, so dorsally, vertebral column, ventrally, sternum and ribs, and even laterally, that ribs, they are forming, basically lungs are present here now. So it is forming what? It is forming that basket-like structure, no? The rib cage. And posteriorly here we know that the diaphragm is present. I hope you remember. Posteriorly here, I hope you remember, the diaphragm is present. Okay, what is present? The diaphragm is present. So this is the rib cage, that anatomically airtight chamber where our lungs are present. And if you relate it with the breathing and exchange of gases, you know that the change in the thoracic cavity is responsible for the change in the pulmonary cavity, and that's how we inhale, exhale. Right? That's how we inhale, exhale. And when you look at this part, that is your sternum. So one more thing that you should remember is, in the sternum, this portion, it is looking like a tie, isn't it? It is looking like a tie, right? The tie, this note part is the manubrium, and this flat part, it is actually written as sternum, and this pointed part is the xiphoid process. Can you see that? Right? It is looking like a tie, no? Tie that we wear with the suit, or even in the schools also, right? So to this manubrium, the first pair of ribs, it is attached here to this manubrium. Remaining all the pairs are attached to this main body, but only one pair is attached to this manubrium, the first pair. This is also the thing that you should notice. Okay. Now come to the vertebral column. So how many vertebrae do we have? Before fusion 33, but after fusion, yes students, before fusion 33, but after fusion it was 26. So CTLSC means come to lunch, stay calm. Come to lunch, stay calm. Right? So cervical 7, thoracic 12, lumbar 5, sacral 5 and 4. So 5 and 4, this bracket is showing the fusion. So after fusion, one vertebra here. After fusion, one vertebra here. So this coccygis is basically in the tail region. So it is basically the tail vertebra. That's basically the tail vertebra. Done, bache? So just see this part. Just have a look. 7, this thoracic, this lumbar, sacrum and coccygis. So I hope you know that now we have the bipedal locomotion, right? We have the bipedal locomotion, right? We move on our hind limbs, right? We use forelimbs for different purpose, but initially, like the dogs, like the cow, buffalo, we also used to have quadrupedal locomotion. So with evolution, our vertebral column, it become curved. If you will see this, Our vertebral column is not straight, it's curved like this. And this curve, because of this curve, we can keep our back straight and right, and we got this bipedal locomotion because of this curve. Clear, bache? Because of this curve part. That's what you need to remember. Okay, that's what you need to remember. So see, this lumbar vertebrae, isn't it? This is the curve. This is the curve here. Okay, so these are the vertebrae. These are the vertebrae. This is the vertebral column. So that's what you have to remember. So sacrum and coccyx part, it is also attached with that. It is also basically attached with that pelvic girdle. We will discuss it now. Okay, it is also attached to that pelvic girdle. We are going to discuss it as well. Clear? So the first vertebra is atlas, which will articulate with what? With the occipital bone. Right? First vertebra is what? It is the atlas that will articulate with the skull. And the second vertebra here is axis. Okay, and this axis and atlas arrangement is like this, but that's why we can move our neck in this way. Because of that, we can move our neck in this way. Okay, so that's what you have to remember. So look at the first vertebra. Look at the first vertebra. So in the vertebra, can you see the space here? So this is your vertebral foramen, also known as neural canal, and your spinal cord moves through this. It is present here. Right, so vertebral column is protecting the spinal cord. It is the bony part which is protecting the spinal cord. Okay, so see, these are the points to which this atlas will get attached to the occipital bones, to the condyles of that occipital bones. Understood? Understood? Right? So it's the first cervical vertebra. Look at the curves here: cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and sacrum coccyx is somewhere associated with the pelvic girdle. So 5 bones will fuse, they will form 1. 4 bones will fuse, they will form 1. Okay, 5 bones will fuse, they will form 1. 4 bones will fuse, they will form 1. So look at this curve. Because of that, we are having the bipedal locomotion. Okay, we are having the bipedal locomotion. Now, one more thing that we have is this. These two vertebrae, this part is the neural canal or the vertebral foramen where your spinal cord is present. So in between these two vertebrae, we have the intervertebral disc, which is cartilaginous. Another important MCQ. It is another, right? It is another important MCQ that these vertebrae, right? Vertebrae in between, what do they have? What do they have? They are having the intervertebral disc, and this feature is only there in the mammals. So please mark it. It is only there in the members of class Mammalia. It is only there in the members of class Mammalia. So what is this intervertebral disc? It is the fibrocartilaginous disc. What is it? It is fibrocartilaginous disc. Okay. It is fibrocartilaginous disc. Clear? Clear, clear, clear. So it's cartilaginous. So only in mammals. It is present only in mammals. So this is all about your axial skeleton, right? Let's summarize and then let's move to the appendicular skeleton. Okay, let's summarize and then let's move to the appendicular skeleton. Fine. So when you talk about the axial skeleton, how many bones are there in totality? 80. We have to revise it again and again. Don't be like that, ma'am. Why are you repeating this? It's important to repeat this portion. We have to cram it actually. We have to cram the name of each and every bone here. Right? There is nothing that you can understand. Why bones are there? They are present. They have a name and we have to remember that. Okay. So skull, total 29. Right? You should not be confused with the NCERT portion now. Okay, so let's start with the cranium. How many bones are there in totality? You have to answer it quickly. How many cranial bones are there? 8. How many facial bones are there? Quick. How many facial bones are there? 14. How many ear ossicles in totality? 6. Each ear is having 3 ear ossicles. Hyoid bone. Hyoid bone. 1. The tongue bone. Then the sternum. 1. And the ribs. 24. Okay. Okay. So first 7 pairs are true. pair of ribs, 8th, 9th, 10th, false, 11th, 12th, floating. 11th, 12th, floating. Okay, which bone is having the which bone is having the sella turcica? Which bone is having the sella turcica? It is your sphenoid bone. S for sphenoid, S for sella turcica. So, sella turcica is just a bony depression where your pituitary gland will be there. Fine, where your pituitary gland will be there. Where will you find the foramen magnum? In the occipital bone. Where are you going to find the foramen magnum? In the occipital bone. Understood? Yes? Okay. So now let's move to the appendicular skeleton. How many bones are there in appendicular skeleton? Let's make the flow chart again. How many bones are there in the appendicular skeleton? Total 126 bones are there. Total 126 bones are there. So when you talk about the girdles, we have two girdles. Pectoral girdle, also known as shoulder girdle. Pelvic girdle, also known as hip girdle. So it is wide in the case of females. Why? Because they have to give birth to the young ones. We are viviparous. So pectoral girdle is made up of two bones, clavicle and scapula. So pectoral girdles, you know, now we have two pectoral girdles. Okay, so total 4 bones are there. So 2 clavicle, 1 clavicle here, another clavicle here, 2 scapula. Okay, 2 scapula. Just a minute, huh? Just a minute, just a minute. Hello, I'm back. Now clear? Now, so basically we are talking about the girdles. So how many girdles do we have? One is the shoulder girdle, one is the hip girdle. Okay, so 2 shoulder girdles which are made up of, each shoulder girdle is made up of 2 bones. Clavicle, also known as collarbone. Clavicle, also known as collarbone. Scapula, also known as shoulder blade. So one clavicle here, it is the beauty bone. I hope you know about it. I don't have it. Okay, I don't have it. Basically, I have it, but I cannot show it, right? You might have noticed it in the case of models and all. The girls that are skinny, the girls that used to do a lot of exercise so that they can, you know, show this. Even in the case of boys, here, you feel a bone. That is the collarbone. That is the beauty bone. Okay, it is the beauty bone. This bone I'm talking. This bone here. You can feel this. Okay, so even if I will start going to the gym and all, even I will start workout, so obviously might be, and if I will leave my paranthe, then obviously one day even I can show them, है ना? Even I can flaunt them ki, see, I have that too. Okay, so you might have seen in the case of models and all, they have these bones there. Okay, then so this I cannot hold it. There is a moth in my room. See? Okay, chalo. So now come back. So girdles, 2. So shoulder girdle, 2 bones in each shoulder girdle, and pelvic girdle is 1 made up of 2 bones. Right? 2 coxal bones are there, which are also known as innominates. Okay, they are also formed by the fusion. We will discuss it. And then forelimbs. Both the forelimbs are having total 60 bones. Hind limb is also having the 60 bones. Okay, so now firstly let's talk about the forelimb. Okay, let's talk about what? let's talk about the forelimb first, right? Forelimb first. So see, humerus 1. Okay, this long bone of forelimb. Long bone of forelimb. Okay, then radius ulna. They are total 2 bones. See this. Radius. Sorry. Array. This one. Radius. This one is the ulna. Can you see that? Total 2. Then carpals, also known as wrist bone. Wrist bones. They are total, yup, they are total 8 in number. Okay. Then comes the metacarpals, which are your palm bones. And I think there is no need to cram this part. Okay. They are total 5 in number. See, 8, here they are 5. You can feel it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can even feel that. Okay. Then comes the phalanges. Then comes the phalanges. So, bache, total 14 are there. And there is a phalangeal formula. Do you know that? There is a phalangeal formula. And yes, from phalangeal formula, question can come. Right? 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. 2 bones here. 2, then 3, 3, 3, and 3. We have 5 fingers now, like this. So total 14. Right? Total 14. So humerus 1, radius ulna 2, carpals, wrist bone total 8, metacarpals 5, phalanges 14. 14. So here you are talking about each forelimb. So obviously multiplied with 2, right? So now you know the answer. 2 humerus in forelimbs, 4 radius ulna, 16 carpals, 10 metacarpals, 28 phalanges. Okay, 28 phalanges. Done, bache. Done, Nandana. You can go for Disha publication. You can go for the MTG fingertips. It's your choice. And yes, bache, I hope, right, you will keep it in your mind. So such type of MCQ practice also you can get on this Unacademy platform. You have to subscribe my profile, and if you will see, we even practice the questions on the basis of these books. See, MCQ practice from Disha publication, photosynthesis. So be the part of such classes. Okay, be the part of such classes. Now come back to this topic. So forelimb, humerus, radius ulna, carpal, metacarpal, phalanges. Repeat it everyone. Humerus, radius ulna, carpal, metacarpal, phalanges. Right? So this is what we have, 4 limbs. Okay, the bones of the forelimb. Now see, can you see this humerus? Right, I'll finish the girdle part here only. So this is attached here, right? We have to fix this limb with the axial skeleton, and girdles are going to do that. Okay, girdles are going to do that. So when you know the pectoral girdle having clavicle and scapula, So this is the clavicle, the shoulder, the collarbone. And this is the scapula, the shoulder blade, right, which is triangular or the flat kind of structure. See this. So now here, this is humerus. This part, this flat blade-like structure. This part is scapula, and here it is, your clavicle. Fine. So this humerus will get fixed to the axial skeleton with the help of this pectoral girdle. But now this humerus is articulating here, right? So when you talk about the scapula, students, scapula is having certain processes. Like scapula is having a kind of elevated portion, a ridge-like portion, and that is known as acromion process. What's the word for that? The process name is acromion. Now you know that in the pectoral girdle, if we have 2 bones, so even that 2 bones should articulate with each other. Even that 2 bones, even they should articulate with each other. Even they should get fixed with each other. Yes or no? Even these 2 bones should get articulated with each other. Even they should get fixed with each other. Isn't it? Of course, yes. So the scapula is having kind of elevated, a ridge-like portion, which we used to call it acromion process. And to this acromion process, right, the clavicle is attached. The clavicle is attached. Clear? What is attached, Balche? The clavicle is attached. And now, this humerus it has to fix with this part. So in the scapula, you will find just a minute guys, just a minute. Yeah. So I hope it's fine. Am I audible? Am I audible? I hope I am. Okay. So you can see this, the scapula, it is having a, right here you will see a kind of cavity, and that cavity is what? It is the glenoid cavity, right? It is the another important question. So this scapula, the shoulder blade, this scapula, this shoulder blade is having a cavity, glenoid cavity, and the humerus is going to articulate there. Okay, the humerus is going to articulate there. Clear bache? Clear bache? Okay. Okay, this point clear. And scapula is having this elevated ridge, the acromion process, to which clavicle attached. This point is important. This is very important. And this humerus is having a ridge also. That is the deltoid ridge to which the muscles get attached. Okay, to which the muscles get attached. So wait, see this. Clavicle, collarbone, your scapula. See this diagram. Okay. Okay. So see how are they fixed. So this is clavicle and this is the scapula. This part is the scapula. So scapula is not further articulated with, you know, here with the ribs. The ligaments are going to fix it. The ligaments are going to fix it. Okay. The ligaments are going to fix it. Fine. This part clear? Sure. And here now see this, the carpals, the metacarpals, and the phalanges here. So what is the phalangeal formula? 2, 3, 3, 3 and 3. Simple. 2, 3, 3 and 3. Okay. Okay. So that's your, what's that? That's your forelimb and the pectoral girdle. Now let's talk about the hind limb. So hind limb is also having total 60 bones. Now see, here you will talk about the femur, which is even the longest bone in our body. See, longest and the strongest bone, the femur. Then tibia, fibula, tibia, fibula. But here you will also see patella, that is also known as knee cap. What's that? That is knee cap. Here you will see tarsals, you will see metatarsals. Okay, metatarsals and the phalanges. Again here also the phalanges. So femur 1, tibia fibula 2, kneecap or patella 1, but here tarsals are going to be 7. When I'm telling you about the carpals are total 8 in number in the forelimb. That's what I'm saying now, that carpals, they are total 8 in number, but the tarsals means the ankle bones. Okay, the ankle bones. That ankle, wrist bones are total 8, ankle bones are 7, because one bone is making the patella, the knee cap here. Okay, the knee cap here. Fine, it is forming the knee cap here. Clear? So here tarsals are 7. So that's what you need to take care. Carpals 8, tarsals 7. Carpals 8, tarsal 7. So metatarsals, they are again same 5. Phalanges again same 14. So now multiply it with 2 because we have 2 hind limbs. So 2, 4, 2, 14, 10 and again 28. So 38, 50, done, 60 total, right? 60. So just see this. This is the femur. This is the femur. And here you have this. This part is the patella, the knee cap, right? The knee cap. Okay. And here you will see the tibia. So, bache, when you look at the tibia is thick. It's thick. And this fibula, it is thin, right? Fibula is thin. So, tibia is thick and the fibula is what? Fibula is the thinner. Okay. Fibia is the thinner, and this tibia is known as the shin bone. This tibia is known as the shin bone. Okay, after all, it's carrying our body weight. Fine. So this kneecap and everything here clear, the number clear. So you can remember it. Trust me, you can remember this. Now, I would like to add one point here, bache. Kneecap and knee joint, they are two different things. Kneecap and knee joint, they are two different things. When you talk about the knee joint is made up of femur, tibia and patella. Knee joint is made up of femur, tibia and patella. You know what's my trick here? My trick is very simple. Femur and here fibula. We don't need 2F. We don't need two females. We just need one female and femur will go here. Okay, femur will go here. So femur, tibia and patella. Femur, tibia and patella. Okay, femur, tibia and patella. So here, this is what you need to remember. This is extra that you need to remember. So knee joint is having femur, tibia and patella. Done, bache? So see the tarsals, the metatarsal and the phalanges again. So 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Done, bache? 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Write down the phalangeal formula quickly in the chat section. Get in another 5 minutes, the session will be over. Okay, in next 5 minutes, the session will be over. So quickly tell me about it. Quickly tell me about it. And you know that where are you going to solve the questions on the basis of skeletal system? Here, right? You will get the free special classes on Unacademy platform where I will be teaching you, where I am going to take a test on the basis of it. Okay? Okay, there will be a test. And guys, be quick. Unlock 25 is there. As I said, quickly join the Avengers 3.0 batch. Okay, and you have to use coupon code Ambika 10. That's all. So this part clear. Now, see, it is very clearly showing that patella, the kneecap, right? And the knee joint is having femur because we need only one female. So it will be tibia and patella. It will be tibia and patella. So fibula is thin, tibia is thick. So it is the shin bone. It is the shin bone. Understood? Understood? So the next is the pelvic girdle, the hip girdle. So when you look at this girdle, see, in this girdle, this girdle is articulating with your vertebral column as well. But no such thing was there in the pectoral girdle. Pectoral girdle was not joined to the vertebral column, but pelvic girdle is joined. Can you see the sacrum made by the fusion of 5 bones? Can you see this coccyx made by the fusion of 4 bones? Made by the fusion of 4 bones. RP Gokul, what you have to do, you have to download the Unacademy app, or directly on Google you can type Unacademy login. You have to search my profile Ambika. Follow my profile, you will get the details of the classes there. Okay, so when you look at this pelvic girdle, which is wider in the case of females, see this part? These are 2 coxal bones here. What are they? These are 2 coxal bones here. 2 coxal bones here. So these coxal bones are also known as innominates. They are also known as innominates. What are they? For coxal bones also, you can also use the word innominates. What is the word? Innominates. So these coxal bones, each coxal bone basically is made by the fusion. It is made by the fusion of 3 bones itself. So 3 bones will fuse and they will form 1 coxal bone. And that 3 bones are ilium, ischium and the pubis. It's ilium, ischium and the pubis. It's ilium, ischium and the pubis. What's that? It's the ilium, ischium and the pubis. Now, see, don't make the mistake here. ILIUM. It's the part of pelvic girdle. It's the part of pelvic girdle. If it is ILEUM, then it is the part of, yes, small intestine. Remember DGI. duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Then it's the part of small intestine. So one spelling can change the answer of your question. So ileum, ischium, pubis, they will fuse, they will form one coxal bone. Okay, and these two coxal bones also, they are also attached. Fine, they are also attached. How are they attached? See this. They are having this pubic symphysis in between. Right, this ligament here, this pubic symphysis here. Clear? Right? What is present here? The pubic symphysis. What is present here? Pubic symphysis. Okay. Okay. So it is having what? It is having the cartilage. Which cartilage is there in pubic symphysis? Another important question. The fibrous cartilage. Which cartilage is there, bache? It is the fibrous cartilage. Which cartilage is there, bache? Fibrous cartilage. Understood? Understood? So, ileum, ischium, pubis, at their junction, you have one more thing that is known as acetabulum. Right? Because even your femur needs to articulate with the hip girdle. As I said, your humerus is going to articulate with the pectoral girdle. How? With the help of glenoid cavity. Same way, your femur is also going to articulate with the hip girdle here, and here you have the acetabulum, and that acetabulum is formed at the junction of ileum, ischium, at pubis. Okay, that is formed after the that is formed at the junction of ileum, ischium, and pubis. Clear? So see, pelvic girdle is articulating with vertebral column, but your pectoral girdle is not articulating. Okay, okay, and here you can see the pubic symphysis is attaching these two coxal bones, and this is the fibrous cartilage. So remember, when the female is pregnant, the hormone relaxin, placenta is also releasing this, ovaries are also releasing this, so it will make this pubic symphysis more flexible for the childbirth. Okay, for the childbirth. Bache, Sigma bache, I don't have the I don't have that slot for the marathon yet. That's why I'm not continuing with that chapter. Once I will get the 2 to 3 hours, right, all together, then I will pick it up. But yeah, tomorrow you are having principles of inheritance and variation one shot. Genetics is important now, so we have to keep on revising it. Same way you will be having the one shot of molecular basis of inheritance as well. Don't worry, we are not going to leave anything. So this is about the pelvic girdle. So just have a look, right? Right? So see this. So femur is articulating with the pelvic girdle, and here what do you have? Acetabulum. Fine. So this is all about the skeletal system. This is all about the bones here. Now we are left with the one topic, that is joints, that I will record and I will post. Yeah, I'll record and I'll post the video. Fine. Fine. And now, because you know about the bones, so you can read the joints by your own. Then I'll post the video. You can use that video for revision also. Okay, so that's all. This is all about the topic skeletal system. So we have completed it, right? So see this, right? These are the beautiful diagrams. Focus on each and every detail, right? This lecture is more than sufficient for you. Okay, more than sufficient for you if you want to master the skeletal system. And you know what you have to do, guys. Quickly, first of all, subscribe my profile on our platform, and secondly, put the comments there after the lecture. Just put the comments there in the comment section that you like the class or not. Okay, and see, this is my batch link, Avengers 3.0. Just use the coupon code Ambika10 and you will be the part of my batch after paying the fees. Okay, sliding filament theory, I will pick it up. Mishra, actually it was my next topic, sliding filament theory. I will pick it up. So we'll share the PDF in the Telegram group, guys. Okay, so you stay tuned. Fine, there are test series that we have launched. There are many other things, many interesting things are there for you people. So do not miss the updates. See, just scan this QR code, right, and you will get all the possible solution for your NEET preparation. Okay, okay, so you can get the iconic subscription, mock test series, everything. Fine, everything. So I'll see you soon. Right, so tomorrow we have one shot, be there, and tomorrow I'm going to start planned growth and development on our Unacademy platform. So I want your participation there as well. So take care.